take two completely identical engines, same year, same everything, all the same parts, same pistons, same cams, same heads, same everything, as identical a pile of parts as you can make it. Now, give one pile of those parts to an average mechanic, a regular mechanic, let him assemble it. Give that other pile of parts to a professional builder. Let's just say a NASCAR builder or a Formula One builder. Now take both of those engines and put them on the same dyno on the same day, the same operator, the same conditions. And the one built by the regular guy is going to make 350 horsepower. The one built by the Formula One or NASCAR guy is going to make 400, 420, 450 horsepower. How is that possible? How does that work? The difference is in knowing how to massage the parts. And I'm not even talking about machining. In our hypothetical situation, both builders have access to the same machine equipment. They have access to the same tools, the same everything. Why does one make so much more power than the other? It's about attention to detail. And this is something we talk about over and over and over again on this channel. And we did that video, I don't know, I guess about a month ago, about weight transfer and like what the pros know, what the chassis builders know that the average person doesn't. This is pretty much along the same lines. It's that attention to detail, knowing where to look and where to make subtle changes or cleanups or modifications over the whole package increases its output, its efficiency immensely. So why don't engines and parts come from the factory or the manufacturer, the aftermarket, all ready to go? Some of them do, but those are super premium, high quality pieces. For the average person building with the average parts, there are shortcuts taken in almost every phase of the building of these parts, the making of these parts, just due to assembly constraints, time constraints. You know, you've got to move this stuff through. So here is an example, and I'm going to demonstrate. We're going to use the kitchen sink to demonstrate the difference between a part that's straight out of the box and one that's been cleaned up and massaged. Right? So this is just a regular Mr. Gasket carburetor adapter. It's from a spread bore to a square bore, or vice versa, however you want to use it. And this is as it was cast, and this is as it was taken out of the package. And you can see here that the one edge, right, this side of it over here, is as it was produced. Okay, it's a sharp edge. It's not really even a clean, smooth edge. It's just a sharp edge. Okay, now if you look at this side, what I did here was I dressed this down. Now all I did on this side here is take a piece of emery cloth and just dress it out. Just take out emery cloth and some Scotch-Brite. All I did was just dress this out to clean up that sharp edge. So let's put this thing on the kitchen sink and let's see the difference in how each side of this thing flows. Okay, so there's our water going. Try to get that centered. All right, here is the unmodified part. Now, look at the way it's fanning out. And you can see on this side, it's actually coming past. The spray is coming past this edge. Right? It's hitting the wall over here. Now if we go to this side and we do the same thing, look at how much more uniform the spray is here. And notice it's not coming all the way across to the other side. First one. Stock. And then modified. Stock, modified. Do you see how much more uniform and directed the cleaned up part is from the stock part? So now, that in itself isn't going to make huge power. But what it does is it cleans up the flow through the intake manifold so that it's as it was designed. So you can take a manifold that's designed, an intake manifold that's designed to have certain characteristics, and you can take a spacer that's designed to have certain characteristics. But unless you actually clean them up, you take care of those minor manufacturing defects in the casting, you'll never get what the designer intended out of that part. It's not going to function as intended. If you take this principle of just a couple of minutes, just dressing out all of the imperfections and making the part match its intended. See, when they drew out this part, when they designed this part, they didn't include a sharp, rough manufactured edge. They included a nice radiused edge. And so that's how this was intended to be used. But how it comes out of the box, not nearly as good as once it's been just cleaned up nicely. No time was spent, and you can see that I went out of my way to not change the contour or the opening. So the sides are identical as far as their actual volume, but just the contour is different. So that's just one minor example of spending a few minutes and just dressing out the imperfections on a piece, optimizing the piece. Now, you could take this concept and put it through the entire engine. Really, inside the engine, there's no places for sharp edges. Everything should be dressed, everything should be clean. Sharp edges not only interrupt things like flow, liquid and airflow, but they also act as potential stress risers, a place where a crack can start. So going through and dressing out all of those pieces makes a big difference. Same thing with fuel lines. People will go nuts plumbing fuel to the front of the car, and they leave the fittings untouched. The fittings will generally come with a machined edge, and that does disrupt flow as the liquid is moving through it. So you would want to do the same thing on the inside of the fitting. Even where it's facing away from the direction of flow, you want to take any sharp edges inside the fitting and dress them out. Take that concept and put it through the entire engine. Better than that, take that concept and put it through the entire car, optimizing every last little detail. That's how people like stock eliminator racers, like NHRA stock eliminator racers, can take, a low compression 2-barrel combination in a big heavy car and run down in the 11s with it, because every little bit of the car has been optimized. When you take this concept and you put it through the entire machine, every aspect of the machine, that's where you start to get really amazing results out of otherwise lackluster or undesirable bits and pieces. A little bit of extra time spent chasing the details. And that's what the pros know. That's what makes a pro a pro. That's the difference. I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you tomorrow.